Hi everybody, it's Lene. Thanks so much for stopping by my channel today. I have another spring project for you, and the paper pack I'm going to be using is Wildflowers and Wildlife 12 by 12 pattern cardstock. This is available at paperwishes.com and it's by hot off the press. And it's just got the most adorable spring foliage and flowers, and it has some little characters. This little bunny is so cute, and I think for spring we're gonna have to feature the bunny for sure. And then on the opposite side, this beautiful kind of a stripe with a green and a little bit of foliage in the background. This adorable fox, so sweet, and on the back. And then this cute little deer, and I love the gingham with the beautiful little blackberries, the gingham on the back, and then the sweetest little raccoon ever, and then on the back a polka dot, and then there's also this great cutout sheet, and then on the back of that, and then also another cutout sheet. Now this is just one of the sets. You get two of everything in this collection. So I know definitely we're going to do something that is cutting a sheet of this beautiful paper in half. We're going to make a little book today, a little like pocketbook, a little folio. I'm really not sure. I do know I want to cut it in half. I do know I want to add some little tabs to it. So let's start with this paper for sure. All right, so I've got my 12 by 12 cut into two 6 by 12 inch papers right down the center. Now my paper is directional, and then I have my cute little bunny right there. And so I want to feature him on the cover, so I'm going to have to pull some little shenanigans to make that happen. And then I'm also going to add gingham. If you've been watching my channel for a while, you know I always try to sneak gingham in when I can. This is really beautiful. It's also from paperwishes.com and by Hot Off the Press. And I cut this one also into 6 inches tall and by 12 inches wide. And so to write this down, you're doing two, they're mixed, and you're doing 6 by 12. All right. So what I want to do then is I want to identify what's going to go on the inside of the little book and what will be the outside pages when you're dealing with papers that are directional. Okay. So for this one, this cute little bunny, I know I want to feature this one on the inside, and then I've also cut down one that I'm going to feature on the cover. All right. So I'm using that second sheet up. So let's go ahead and we're going to fold this in half into a 6 by 6. Okay. You're going to do that with all of your little sheets. This one right here has a really nice double-sided gingham. It's got a large print on one side, and then the smaller print on the inside, which is so sweet. So let's just start with just this one. And then we could put this one on the inside. That's so cute. I just love it. And then this one, print like this. And then I could have this little piece go this way or this way, like that. Okay, loving that so far. And then on the outside, see if we can see here, I've got a little tear here. I need to cover that. So we're going to open this up. We're going to do something on the cover. We're going to have this beautiful piece here. We're mixing it with some gingham. Okay, you getting me so far? The other thing I want to do is I'm going to be using a little corner rounder on all the corners, but we're going to wait to do that. So first of all, let's start off with the cover. I have this piece that we haven't done anything yet. I think I'm going to go ahead and sub this one out because my other little piece has a tear in it. And since I'm going to be cutting it apart anyway, why not use the damaged one? There we go. Okay, like that. So for this one, I've got my cute little bunny. All right, and I'm going to cut him down to like 5 by 5. It's already 5 inches this way. That's going to be really super cute. And if I put him in some little cute little gingham like this and mat it, maybe not use the torn side, and put that on the front cover, maybe with a little white mat in between. So let me go get some white cardstock. All right, we've got the cover squared away here. So what I ended up doing, because I did make a change, is I took the gingham paper with the small gingham on the front, and the gingham is 5.5 inches by 5.5 inches. So we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna glue this one down. All right there. I think that's gonna look really sweet with that bunny. All right, and then the bunny, actually I changed from 5 by 5 to 4.5 inch by 4.5 inch, and then the white mat is 4 3/4 of an inch by 4 3/4 of an inch. And I did that because I wanted more of the gingham to show. This was larger and it was just a tiny bit of gingham. I'm like, we gotta really showcase that. The other thing is, I have foam tape on the back of this, so it's gonna give it a little bit of a lift on the front. And I'm gonna go ahead and pick up that little brown in the bunny and ink the edge right here on this really sweet little focal. And you do not have to do this part. I think it just gives it a nice little finished look. Like I didn't cut it out of a big sheet of paper, but it just sort of came this way. All right. And I like using this giant roll of foam tape that I have. It's like 150 feet or 50 yards, and it's really inexpensive. So I'll link that down below in the Paper Wishes supplies as well. All right, so now here, and we're just gonna center that on that adorable pink gingham. All right, then we are going to focus on the inside. Okay, so we're on the inside of our little book. We've got this one is page 1, and I did want to make a little pocket here. And this is going to measure, this is 6 inches by 2 inches, and I'll give you that measurement. But when you put a pocket in, we don't want to get too far in the fold there because that'll interfere with the fold. So I like to just shave off the tiniest little bit for the pocket. Okay, so I'm just going to take my paper trimmer, and we're just going to do, instead of 6 inches wide, we're going to do like 5 7/8. Just this, the tiniest little bit, just so it just keeps away from interfering with that edge. So let's write that down. Okay, so that's going to be 5 7/8 by 2 inches. All right, and that is the, we'll call those the like horizontal pockets, because we're going to do several different kinds. There we go. All right, so let's go ahead, and I have a little circle punch here I love to use for my pockets. This is 1.5 inch, and these are in my Amazon storefront, and I use them a lot. I like using just really simple shapes. Okay, and I just tried to center that between this side and this side, just keeping it pretty simple. And we're just going to put glue right on that edge on 3 sides. And this is such a nice little project to do for spring, for a gift. I mean, just because it has a bunny on it does not mean it's for Easter. You can use it year-round. All right, so we've got that one. Now this one, I wanted to make a little tuck spot. Okay, I kind of had a disaster with my microphone and I didn't realize it wasn't working. So I'm gonna kind of walk you through some of the things that I did with a dead microphone. So this was the little tuck spot that I was talking about when it just quit. And I measured this to be 3 inches by 6 inches. So the tuck spots right here, 3 by 6. Then you just glue that on 3 sides. Little notch right there, just like we did on these pockets using the circle punch. And then I did the same thing on the opposite side. Okay, this one also a little tuck spot, glued it on 3 sides, same dimensions. These are the pockets that we already had done in the front. Then I took a little 4-inch wide paper doily, glued it right here, and then this is one of the little circular cutouts from the greeting page, so I went ahead and put that there. Here's another pocket, and here's where we get into trouble. This is where I realized I did this whole little thing here on how to make a little tuck spot out of a doily, and then realized I had a problem. So this is how this works, and I'm going to show you on another page. We'll just have 2 of these. So you're just going to take your little 4-inch wide paper doily, and this is listed in my Paper Wishes supplies if you're looking for something this small, and you're going to glue it on your page. So I'm going to get to that, and then this part right here, see, I did a lot. You guys missed a lot. So I had this leftover piece of my last sheet of 6 by 12, right? So I took it and I put it on its end like this, and then I just went ahead and took my paper trimmer and I cut it like that to just make a little diagonal pocket, and then I moved it away from the edge of the gingham, which I thought was such a little sweet border, and then you're only gluing it on 2 sides. Okay, so now let's do this little part right here so you guys can like know how to do this whole thing. I apologize, that was crazy. All right, so what I'm going to do is take my little doily and just have it so it's extending off of this corner just a little bit. And then I'm just going to lift it up and put my glue right here. And this is Cosmic Shimmer Specialist acrylic glue, so it dries clear and it's made for paper. So it's really a nice glue, and it's available at Paper Wishes, and it's in my Paper Wishes supplies below the video if you're interested in that. I get asked all the time, what's your glue? All right, so that's gonna go like that, and it's gonna dry a little bit, okay? In the meantime, I had this little scrap left, and I already cut out one. Fortunately, I still have more of the blueberries. So this is a 2-inch wide circle punch. If you have a die cutting machine, you can use a circle die. And we're just going to take this and we're going to make ourselves a little focal like this. And we're just going to glue that right there. It gives us a cute little thing to add when you're kind of out of cutouts and things like that. All right, so then I'm just going to slip this out, and then we're going to turn this over, and you're just going to trim this even with the edges of the page. And then keep these little cut-off pieces because we can totally use these for something. I'm going to show you what we're going to use them for. All right, so there we have our little extra tuck spot there. I'm just going to let that dry. So make sure we got everything in the right order. All right, so now I get to play with some tags and fill up this book with some goodies, because if you haven't watched my videos before, I love giving away my projects to my subscriber friends, you guys. It's my favorite part of this whole process. I make a project, and then every week we offer it as a giveaway to one of our lucky subscriber friends. And how you play, how you enter, is you are a subscriber to Lene Creates, and you like or give a thumbs up to this video, and then you leave a comment. And then you have to watch next week's video, because there'll be a pop-up within that video to tell you who won. Okay? So that's really important too. It's a good idea to hit the notification bell at the top right-hand corner on YouTube as well, because that'll let you know when we're trying to reach out and let you know we have a new video, or we have maybe announcing a winner. All right, I'm going to be back with some tags. Maybe we should do our binding first. I got to tell you, I'm pretty thrown. Oh, thanks for hanging in with me, you guys. So I'm just going to do a simple ribbon closure. I'm going to be using a 1/4-inch circle punch. Okay, if you don't have one of these, the Dollar Tree has them. You can look at your thrift stores, in the office supplies. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to be working as far in as my circle punch will go, just like that. Okay. And I'm going to be putting this circle punch on every page right in the center of the fold. Now, I could do multiple pages at once, but that takes pretty strong hands, and a lot of you, that would be difficult. So we're just going to do each page. And I decided, I don't know, should I round the corners? I decided not to round the corners. it's been a day. Let's just stop and not make it any more difficult. All right, so there we go. Okay, and then what's great about this is it's going to just, every page is going to be the same because you're going up as far as you can. There we go. Okay, there's the outside, middle, inside. Then I have this great selection of gingham ribbons, also a paperwishes.com product. And somewhere, where'd all my ribbons go? Oh, they fell on the floor. All right, I have this lovely little tan gingham ribbon, which I chose because I thought it went so well on the front cover with that little bunny. Just brought in that color, which is so cute. So what we're gonna do is open it to the center, and then we're going to thread. I'm gonna have the middle of the ribbon is gonna be in the center of the book. So we're gonna just start in the front here, go across here. And this is just a really simple, easy ribbon binding, great for a beginner. And I'm using about 18 inches of ribbon, and it's 3/8 of an inch wide. I want to make sure that that's not twisted. We're going to turn this over. Okay, and we're going to tie this in a knot. I'm going to make sure I don't have it twisted. No, we're good. All right, we're just going to tie this in just an overhand knot. And then you could leave that and then trim the tails down, but I'm going to go ahead and just tie a little bow. It's like this. And then you just kind of manipulate your bow till you get the tails right and the little loops right. The loops are the most important part because then you can always trim your tails. Just like that. There we go. And then on the inside, that nice little piece right there. So let's talk about some tags and things to put inside here. So this is one of the cutouts. Well, these are all actually cutouts from the paper pack. So these are really cute. Let's put one like right here. And then these are really cute to just tuck right in the little tuck spot, or we have a little tag, and I'm going to go over the tags. Here we go. There's that one. Here's one with a cute little bunny. That's really sweet. You know, that would be really cute on like a library card too. All right, so for the tag, I'm using my tag punch, and it makes 1.5 inch, 2 inch, and 2.5 inch tags really easy. So what you do is you make sure that your strips of paper are the width that you want, and you just shove them in there, and then you punch. And this is available in my Amazon store, and I highly recommend. It's a really nice, sturdy, well-made punch. You go like that. There's that little excess piece. And then you can just layer them just like that. And then remember this little piece of doily that we cut off? How cute. We could put it right here. Just like that. And now we've got a cute little piece of lace. That's so cute. And then maybe put just a little bit right there to tack that top piece down. We're just going to turn that over. We're going to trim that off. There we go. I like to ink the edges of these a little bit. This is more just brown ink. Gives it a little bit of a shadow, makes it a little finished. And then this piece is going to go right over there. And then I have this little piece that is just a punch out piece. And that can go like right in the center. I've got a little bit of ribbon left, and we can take the ribbon and we can just put it right through here. And then you've got a little loop, and then you want to put it through the little loop. And you can do that with just like probably a 7-inch, 6-inch length of ribbon is probably the shortest you want to go for that. So cute to put that right there and then just leave that sticking over the edge just like that. Really cute. And then you guys, one last little thing. I have this little, it's a little file folder tab, and of course it's a cutting die, but if you don't have a cutting die, I have it listed down below my video in Amazon. My Amazon storefront is a punch. So I'm go ahead and I took some of this leftover paper and I did multiples of these. So what we're going to do, how cute to just add these to our cute little book. So I like to start with the one that is in the center first. So that can go right there and it'll stick out just like this. You can label them. And then we're going to put one, maybe we'll do another page. Yeah, let's do this page. We're going to put that right on the center. We'll just do 2 green ones. Got them in the wrong order. That's okay. Okay, and then this one is going to go right here. This is the one I need to punch another one out of. Okay, that one's going to go just like this. Okay, like that. And then I'll punch another one out of green. All right, let's do a little final flip through because I did put a few little additional items in here. So let's open this up. I ended up taking a library pocket that I had on hand. You can get these on Amazon and I'll link that in our Amazon storefront below the supplies. Little scraps of paper, cut them with a little notch. Here's another scrap of paper that I used the little file folder tab on. And then these are really great places to journal and just add 2 little tuck spots. Remember, here's our layered tag using that little extra doily piece. Don't want to waste that. Then I just took a piece of white cardstock, cut it to 2.5 inches, put it through the little tag punch, and then used a scrap right here of gingham, and then added one of the little tags, inked the edges of that as well. Got our little doily with our cutout on there, and then another little cutout from the book. And then here's another library card using scraps and one of the cutouts. Okay, and this one, remember we also used those little leftover pieces from the doilies, just adding that with a little scrap there at the bottom of a little tag that we used our punch for. Here's one of the little cutouts, and you know, that could just go right in this little tuck spot too. So don't forget to participate. I love giving away my project every week to one of my subscriber friends. Like, comment, and subscribe. And if you would like to help out with my shipping costs, that would be great. Even though I get my paper free from hot off the press because I work there. But I have to pay for shipping on my own. So if you guys are so inclined to make a donation, we have super thanks down below the video. And we also have buy me a cup of coffee, and that would really help with my expenses in making these videos for you guys. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you in the next one.